Hi everyone.
No.
How's it going? This is my beautiful friend Yvonne. I'm still in my jammies. Oh, my hoodie looks pretty, pretty gangster in my hoodie. Okay,
take off the
here we are. So we are very excited to be here today.
Sound test first.
Is everybody?
Miranda, can you hear us?
Oh, good.
Give us a thumbs up if you can. I just want to make sure because we. Morning.
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you. We did it. You guys should have seen us like 5 minutes ago. It was franticness in here. Holy moly. You'd think it would be easier to go live on Facebook, but I haven't done it in so long and everything looks a little different. And
well, it did. Yeah. and different computers, different.
Cheers, baby.
Good morning.
Good vibes. And I'm a mom. What's your superpower?
So what is your superpower? Type in the chat box. What's your superpower?
Yeah.
Especially this morning. My superpower this morning comes in the form of traditional medicine tea.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm instant coffee all the time. I don't actually own a coffee maker. I drink instant. You need to scooch forward a little bit because I feel like I look like a giant. And even though I am a giant compared to you, I don't want to look like one.
This brings me back to our interview.
I know, right? Where I'm like,
she put a cushion under my ass.
I did. So she didn't look so much shorter than me. I made her sit on a cushion. You gotta come a little closer. You gotta fill this gap here. Come a little closer, baby. Multitasking is your superpower.
Way to go, Miranda.
Multitasking
is great.
I love that.
Handy.
Well, I want to start this off with sharing something because even though I really hope people will type in and share, I'm not counting on it. I've got a couple things written down that I want to share with people. Just lessons learned, things that positively impacted my life. And this is one of them, actually. She's not a lesson learned, but she's been along for a lot of these roller coaster rides of lessons learned. So I'm really excited to share Yvonne with all of you. And we always just have really good chats and good chemistry. So I have no idea what's going to come today, but I know it's going to be great. And you've got a couple lessons to share with the group too.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've got Lisa. She is going to be joining us on Zoom pretty soon. I'm going to show her to you this way, which is maybe wipe my screen first.
Yeah, clean that up.
Yvonne's going to clean my screen. So the first thing that I will start sharing in our Mom's Coffee Sharing Circle this Sunday morning is a little story about when my mom and my sister and I were on vacation in Florida, and it was the first time we had ever went on a vacation in our entire lives. So my mom had all these air miles, and it was back when air miles was like, we're going to just yank these away from you if you don't use them, because my mom's basically an air miles hoarder. She'd been earning them for a million years and had never used one of them. And it was getting to the point where, like, if my mom used all of her air miles at once, it might bankrupt the air miles company. So they were like, you need to use these. I made a lot of that up. But anyways, so she decided to take my sister and I and my then 2 or 3 year old son on a vacation. So we go to Florida and we're having a great time. And of course, you're like, oh,
that's a lot of air miles. She
took my mom, my sister, me, my son, and it wasn't just the trip. It was the flights. It was the accommodations. It was a car rental.
Wow.
Like, it was all on air miles.
A lot of air miles.
A lot of air miles. Anyways, so we get there and they're like, come for this breakfast. And we're like, oh, free breakfast. All right. And of course, you already probably all know what I'm going to tell you. So we get to this free breakfast and of course, because we're a bunch of suckers and we're just generally nice, trusting people, we ended up buying into a timeshare. And I had my house up for sale. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have some money soon. This is great. It's going to force us to go on vacation, blah, blah, blah. That was probably the worst decision financially for all 3 of us. Even though we went back a few times and we did enjoy it, the amount of money we've been spending on this timeshare, it's annoying. And it's an annoying feeling to be like, oh, I have to go on vacation because I have this timeshare, and if I don't use it, blah, blah, blah.
And you have to go there on vacation. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, even though they're like, oh, you can trade from here and there, and yeah, sure, but it's a big pain in the ass. Like, I don't actually want to. So the moral of the story is, and I've been teaching my son this, he's learned this the hard way too, is don't buy on impulse. plan your purchases. And then when you have some money, you've already got a list built of some things that you want to purchase, right? And then you know that you're buying off that list, that you've already been yearning for these things for a long time. The next sort of like subheading from that umbrella of don't buy on impulse is that I've learned is go through that list and look at the things that could make you money versus just the things that are going to make you happy or, you know, look good at a party, like things that could make you money. So buying, you know, a microphone like this, for example, if that was on your list, I mean, as a business owner who's going to be making videos and things like that, that's not going to go under the same column as, you know, I don't know, a new necklace or new shoes or something
absolutely,
like that.
Yeah, no. Necessity?
Yeah.
Want to have.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can get away without a microphone for a while, but eventually when you have some money and you look at that list, like, are you going to choose from the could make me money list, investment side, right? Or just the expensive
Is it moving
side?
you forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the first thing that I really wanted to share with everyone. That's been a huge lesson for me is impulse buying. And I talk a lot about that in my book because that feeling of not feeling in control is part of the overwhelmed feeling I think that we get as moms and women.
Type in the chat box one of your most regrettable impulse buys that you've ever had.
Please share
that. Like, I'd love to know. I'm just trying to buy some time because I want to think about one that I've done.
I'm going to get Lisa on here to share. I'm just going to get her on Zoom now that you've cleaned my screen. Thank you for that.
My impulse buy that I regret. Oh, come on, Yvonne, this isn't so hard. I'm sure there's one here somewhere real quick. Well, here's why I'm struggling to come up with one, because I think my impulse buys tend to be more in form of programs.
Okay.
And so when I purchased, like, I can name a few programs I've purchased that I did on impulse because I thought, oh, I absolutely need to have this program. And then later thought, yeah, I didn't really need this program. And now,
you're an education
later.
junkie. That's what your thing is. You're very much like,
hi, Tara.
Hey, Tara, how's it going? All right. So we have with us the lovely Lisa. I haven't really given her a lot of warning, but I know she has a great story to share with all of you. So I'm going to turn her up quite a bit here, though.
Or just hold her to the microphone.
Hold her to the microphone, and then her face won't be.
Okay. Well, no. There.
Hello, everyone.
This is very interesting.
This is a new technique that everyone's going to use after they see this. They're going to be like, that is so cool, and I'm totally going to do that. It's almost like, it's Yvonne, but it's Lisa. So you just hold it right over Yvonne's face and pretend that it's Lisa.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Hi, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Lisa, how many kids do you have? And to talk a little bit and then pause and see if they can hear you.
Okay. So I am a mom of 3. I have a boy who's 9 years old, a girl who's 6, and another boy who's 3. Will be 4 in September. So
cool.
Yeah, I've been married for 11 years. Feels like a long time.
11 years is a long time.
All at the same time.
Well, we are stoked that you are sharing with us today, and everyone's saying they can hear you. So go and take it away, please.
Okay. Now I'm feeling a little nervous. I look like I'm reading because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget what I wanted to say. So, I am a portrait photographer in Cochrane, Alberta here. And I'm working on starting and trying to grow my own business. And I love being able to capture a moment that so quickly passes because, you know, our kids and our families grow and they change so much and so quickly that I just feel like I get the opportunity to just freeze time for a moment in photographs. And that's my favorite thing to do. And I love being able to take photos that are going to make people smile every time they look at them. So that's my favorite thing to do. And starting a business, it's been quite a journey so far. There's a lot to learn and a lot to figure out. So I feel like I'm still at the very beginning stages of that. And Lyndsie put out the question of what lesson have we learned that's really improved our life? And Well, there are many different ones. Probably the most recent one and the most business-related one would be, I am worth every penny. I am worth every penny. I did a lot of research of what the other photographers in my area were charging, and I ended up settling myself kind of right in the middle of everyone. I knew I didn't want to be too high. I was still new, still growing, and still learning. But I knew I didn't want to place myself at the bottom either, because I did feel like I was worth more than that, being the bare bottom. And there's a perception when you're the cheapest, and an attitude that comes with that. And I didn't want to be there either.
Totally. Yeah.
But then I started to worry about, am I asking too much? What are people going to think? Was I really better? Was I good enough? Maybe I should lower my prices because there is so much competition in the area. And then I heard this expression that you have to believe that you are worth every penny. You have to believe that in yourself. I am worth every penny because I do believe in myself and my abilities. I don't need to feel bad for that or apologize for that, which for me is hard too, because being a people pleaser, I tend to take that into consideration a lot, and I'm really working on not, because I am worth it, and I know my abilities and my skills, and I have, like, I don't mean to sound cocky with it, but I do know that I can do it, and this is a talent that God's given me.
Right.
So,
yeah, the ladies are typing in absolutely, and yeah, they're definitely agreeing with everything you're saying. So yeah, everybody loves it.
Yeah, so I find this has really changed me, because it's gone beyond my business too, because it's affected me in life in general. That I'm feeling more free to make decisions without needing permission or to explain myself.
Yeah, love it.
Most of the time, I have moments.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I feel free to be able to just make these decisions based on what's best for me and my family, as opposed to what people might think of those around me.
Lisa, can I ask you a quick question on that? How did you get to learning that lesson? Like, what did you, like, is there something that stands out that you did or read or worked on that got you to that point?
That I found it actually was another photographer based out of the States who, it's actually, I have her book right here. I haven't started reading it yet, but it's kind of where she goes. Like I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh yeah.
Worth every penny. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was something I had watched. It was a webinar of hers that I watched, and it was a big click for me. And I was just like, yes, I have to believe that. Otherwise, I'm going to go nowhere.
Yeah.
That is an awesome story. And I'm so glad you shared that. Like, that was really powerful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lisa. And thank you for being our little talking head. I appreciate that. Super fun.
Well, I'm glad when my kids got quiet, they're all watching TV, so I could do this without poking in too. So.
Well, you know what? When a kid pokes their head in and talks during something like this, I think it adds. It's kind of like when, the ring bear is walking down the aisle and they start doing something crazy. It's always fun, right?
Yeah.
So if your kid pops their head in, it's good.
Yeah.
My husband's not home, so it's just me and the kid. So.
No, that was awesome. That was such a great lesson, and one that I know everyone on this live stream right now is nodding their head to, because we've all been there, or we are still there, where we feel we're not worth the money we want for our services and our gifts. And it is one of the most vulnerable things we can ever do, is to put our gifts out there in the world and then have people judge us by those, right? And we humankind, like human beings, we judge. So it is so vulnerable and so tender, and so we all go through this. And I love that you shared one of your resources that got you to overcoming some of those blocks. So thank you for that. That was really good
and I
story.
like what Tara said. We all have moments of self-doubt, and so it's good to have even those mantras in your mind, those sort of sentences that you can train yourself to meditate on in those moments, right? And it sounds like you've got yours. I'm worth every penny. I'm worth every penny. I'm worth every penny. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Lisa. I'm going to let you jump on the Facebook Live.
So welcome, Tara, Amy. Great to have you on here. We have Miranda. Oh, it's so good to see you, ladies. That totally made it worth getting out of bed this morning and coming over to have
in the
Sunday
rain.
Morning coffee with you in the rain when I really just wanted to snuggle up and just stay where I was.
Cheers, baby. All right, so I mean, we've got quite a few of you guys on here. I'd really love to see some stories of lessons learned and how they positively impacted your life being typed into the chat box. And interestingly enough, most of the women I see that I know are women who have businesses. So maybe you might have a story to share similar to Lisa's that's something to do with kind of getting over a hurdle that has helped grow your business. And I mean, let's be honest, if we don't have an income, we don't have our money sorted out, everything else is going to be affected. So
absolutely,
don't feel like talking about money is ever a bad thing or a selfish thing or greedy thing. Like the reality.
That's why we're here, isn't it?
That's why we're here. Yeah, like, exactly. We're trying to get over our blocks and things like that. And so sharing how you got over a certain block with another mom who might still be behind that block is so helpful. So thank you for sharing, ladies.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah. Do you have a story yet? Because I have another one.
You go for it. What do you want? I have lots of stories. You know, I have a story for everything.
I'm trying to think of one of my favorite stories that you've told. I learned so much about you the last time I was at your workshop, actually, stuff I didn't even know. It was awesome.
Specifically on money, or?
No, not even specifically on money. I mean, money and relationships are the two number one things I think that cause us challenges.
Yeah.
However, sometimes when money is a problem, it can filter into our relationships, right?
Absolutely.
It can cause us to be snappy and crazy and mean and yeah. So, but I mean, that said, sometimes we have relationship problems that are nothing to do with money. So,
well, why don't we tell the listeners why we are doing this together today?
We're doing this together because, well, in line,
Lyndsy's got a really great workshop coming up. Oh, sorry. Did I jump the gun?
No, that's okay. I wasn't even thinking about that. But yeah, I do have a really great workshop coming up this week in Cochrane, and I have a few seats left, and I'm gonna sell them 2 for 1. So if you want to bring a friend and you want to split the cost between your friend, that would be great. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the Cochrane Alliance Church. We're going to have a group of moms together. Lunch is included. And yes, $332 for 2 moms to attend 3 days.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not looking to make any money off this, you guys. I really just want to cover my costs and get a group of moms together, only 10 moms who are looking for a tribe of moms who want to grow their businesses. So keep that in mind. But I want to jump back to my story that ties into Yvonne. It's about taking a leap of faith. And so that is really the lesson that I've learned. And it's interesting because it's kind of the opposite of that whole, we have a lesson.
We have
here.
a lesson.
I learned to be fearless in the face of adversity, regardless of our fears. We have to push ourselves forward. I love that. And that is very similar to what I'm about to share. And Miranda, if you don't mind backing that up with a little bit of a story, that would be great. But if not, that's cool too. So my fear was money, was a lack of money, was I wanted to commit to hiring a business coach as an entrepreneur, someone who doesn't have a boss or coworkers or sort of a system of, are you going to be taller? She's sitting on a pillow now. As someone who needs support, I recognize that I was needing support. I was needing someone in my industry, in my field, who would help me grow my business. Someone who had grown it to a point that I hadn't, someone who had a blueprint. Yeah. And I had met this person and I was like, I knew, the coaching package was there, was available. And anyways, and over the summer I chatted with Yvonne about it a couple of times. And finally I went for coffee with this business coach. And then I called Yvonne right after and I was like, should I do it? Like, I don't really know where I'm going to get the money to do this, but I know my business needs a lot of help. And she was like, Lyndsie, like, you'll just do it. You'll find the money, take a leap of faith. I think this is right for you. And I needed someone who knows me well to tell me that. And so I did. And it literally catapulted my business and my life in so many ways. So it's kind of the opposite though of that. Well, not really, because it wasn't an impulse buy. It was something that I thought about for about 3 months before I did it. But anyway, so it
was definitely not an impulse buy. Sleeping on it is a big rule for me. If I'm not certain about something, I always take at least one night to sleep on it. And then whatever I wake up with the next morning is my decision.
Okay.
So
like
you've taken time to think about that one. And it is a tough one because I think most of us have really learned to grow up with this scarcity mindset. And the scarcity mindset, when we're in that rhythm, always leads with there isn't enough. There isn't enough money. There isn't enough time. There isn't enough resources. There isn't enough of whatever in order to get me to where I want to go. But that is what is actually holding us back from seeing it through, because that scarcity mind will definitely kick in when we're expanding and growing and stretching ourselves into something completely new. And that's what you were doing at that point in time. You knew in order to move forward, you needed to do something different from what you had been doing. And so what was holding you back or bringing the doubt into your consciousness was the fear of expanding. It wasn't about the money. At the end of the day, it's not about the money. Like, I'm going to write a book and it's going to be called It Was Never About the Money.
It was never about the money.
The money is always the easiest for us to use as the scapegoat.
Yeah, it's so true.
You know, listen, I know that there are many of us that are in financially difficult situations. You know, we have credit card debt, we have loans, we have all of, like, we have mortgages, we have kids to look after, families to care for. So I get that. But the thing is when we dwell in that, when we stay in that mindset, we're never getting out of it. We have such a tight grip on fear of not enough. That is what is holding us back. So sorry I jumped in there.
No,
I'm just so passionate about this right now.
Yeah, this is Yvonne's hot button, and this is a big part of what she's helped. You've helped so many women overcome that scarcity mindset, and it's because you've been. And Yvonne has an incredible story, and if we have a bit of time here, I have a specific story I want her to share. So do you want to read that from Amy?
Out loud?
Yeah.
So, hey, Amy, so good to have you on here. Good morning, she says. The man in the arena quote that Brene Brown talks about is helpful for me. The critic voice holds no value unless they too are in the arena. And the idea that babies learn to walk by falling until they get it. They don't just lay down and give up on walking. Those are helpful when I get in self-judgment. Yeah.
And then Amanda, are you pre-reading it? Or
I know I'm reading. You read it. You read Amanda's. I'm rereading Amy's because I'm trying to.
Okay, she's processing yours, Amy. We're gonna take turns. Is there caffeine in that? No, there's not. That's her problem. Okay, I'm jacked right up right now, and you can see in my eyes. But okay. Amanda, thank you for sharing this, Amanda. A book that has made an impact on me is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. If you know why you do what you do and you use it as a filter when making any decision, your decisions will move you closer to your goals. I love that.
Yes.
Totally agree, and very much ties in with what Lisa shared with us too, right? She just loves capturing those moments and freezing time, and it's why she does what she does, because she just loves doing that for people, like giving them that gift of freezing a moment in time. And so and I know for Amanda, like, she's a chiropractor. I mean, gosh, she helped me just last week when I was having shoulder issues. She has that, you could just feel it when you're with her. Her why is helping people, and it's awesome. So yeah, thanks all of you for sharing. Oh, we got Carrie too. Hey, Carrie. And Lisa switched from Zoom to Facebook Live, so that's good. We got her back with us.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So yeah, those are my two stories. So now you're gonna have to take the floor. But I want to share with you guys a couple of things about Yvonne and why she's been so instrumental in my life. Yvonne came to Canada when she was 14.
16.
16
Yeah.
from Germany, and she has a very interesting story of how she grew up in sort of communism and then came to this free country, and just literally how her mind was blown by money, and in good ways and in bad ways. And one of my favorite stories is how she chose her university. She chose to go to St. FX because of the ring. Who chooses their university based on jewelry?
Okay, let's take a vote.
She did. She's come a long way.
Stop.
I didn't go to university, so I love making fun of people who did go for any reason I could find. But
well, you know what? To your point, it is very interesting to me how I was, and to some degree still am, is always stuck in validating my my worth with titles and degrees. And that was singularly the only reason why I went to university, or why I chose to go to university in the first place, because I was told and taught that if I don't have a university degree, I'm nobody, basically. Like, you have to have a higher education. And I think we're very much on the same note on that. We both challenged that idea, because we're like, I don't believe that higher education per se is going to make you a better person, or give you your purpose that you're here to do in life, or to do a really great job at it. You know, it's just going to be a whole lot of money you have to repay in the most tender years of your life. And that makes for really bad decisions, really poor decisions, because when we're starving and literally don't have the resources to move us forward, we take the first job that we are being offered, even though there could be a much better job waiting for us. We skip over our dreams and our things we really feel passionate about, because they don't pay the money. Especially, I know, Lisa, you can probably relate to this, especially us artists and creative people. Like, you know, how many of us grew up with the notion that if you want to be a rock star, or an artist, a painter, or any type of creative art, you're never going to make it, because you're never going to earn a living. And that whole phrase, earning a living, is BS. So that's why I went to university. And then I chose, because there's so many universities in Eastern Canada, great universities. So I chose mine based on the ring. And anyone who knows St. FX, they have the most recognized ring in North America. And so I
still making fun of you. I'm never gonna stop.
So
I mean, it's not even fair to make fun of her, because you were so naive back then. You're so young and naive.
I would choose university again.
Just kidding.
I just may not do it because of the ring.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever it was that moved me forward. Forward, right?
No kidding. So here's an interesting story for all of us moms about preparing our kids for if they go to university or college, when they walk in on that first day, what sort of booths are going to be waiting for them in like a trade show setting? What's one of those booths that might get them and cause them a little bit of grief that you could maybe tell a story about, Yvonne? This is a lesson learned. While you're telling the story, I'm grabbing my box of books to share that with everyone.
I don't think I was paying much attention to what the question was.
It's the story about you going to the booth with the credit card company and them basically getting you into this credit card, and them not even really explaining how it works.
Love it.
And you being like, okay, sign up. Yep, let's do this.
So
sweet little German Yvonne. Give me a credit card.
You know what? And thank you for that backstory, because this is the thing. I don't think many people, maybe now more, but this is 20 years ago. This is 20 years ago. 20 years ago, not a lot of people knew about credit and how credit worked. And I was definitely one of them. And I most definitely didn't know, and nor could my parents have taught me, because in communism, we didn't have credit systems, period. Like, we just did not have that system. So capitalism, and then the whole credit and loan system that North America runs on, was new to us. And so I go to university, and it was my first week in university. At the student lounge building, there was this credit card booth, MasterCard, Capital One. I'll never forget it. It was Capital One, and they had a booth set up, and this young person literally handing out credit cards to recruit you in. And once you held that credit card in your hand, of course, you're like, you can't move forward. You can't go past, right? So I was standing there, and I remember asking him, how does this work? And he explained it to me, and I'm sure he did his due diligence to explain it to me probably, but I didn't get it. All I heard is I can actually, because I was, what do you call those people that are really loyal, like university, they bleed their university name and colors, and like a fan, I guess. Stop. But all I heard is that I could get the university, the X, actually on the credit card.
So she wanted the ring and the matching credit card. She wanted also like maybe a shirt and maybe a hat, and then the credit card comes out and it matches.
I had the shirt. Listen, the first thing they do in university when you get there as a freshman is they deck you out with the t-shirt, the pants with the university name on the ass, and the sweater and the hat. Like, I had it all, including the credit card that I didn't know how it worked, and I got myself into, I think it was $1,500 credit card. I got myself into a $1,500 debt almost immediately, that it took me years to pay off because I didn't know how it worked. So Miranda shared her story. Do you want me to read it out? You might be a better reader than me, because I
don't have my glasses on, so I'm doing pretty good here. Okay, as you both know, I have been through so much over the past 4 years. There have been moments where I was paralyzed by my fears, knowing I had 3 humans, my babies, watching my struggle push me forward.
Yeah.
Got me out of bed some days. I had to be larger than my fear of failure. I had no choice. Now I refuse to back down. I am blessed to have such great motivators. My tribe is fierce.
Awesome.
Yes. Woohoo!
That's a very awesome success story, Miranda. And yes, we both know you've been through a lot lately, and you are a strong woman, and you're an inspiration, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you share that story in the coming months and years. I know you've been talking about it, so let's watch, and I'm cheering you on. This is my pushy, obnoxious way of cheering you on, what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
It's because I love you.
Well, it's good to see she does that with everyone.
Yeah, not just you. I was going to go live on Instagram too, but that's just too much work.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might be overdoing it here.
What?
I might be like
technology
going
wise.
on. I've got the text
right now.
shooting here. I got the camera, the microphone. Yeah, it's just a lot.
All we need is the dogs laying on the floor, and then we'd have a real party.
Yeah.
But we made them go outside because they were being, speaking of obnoxious, they were being obnoxious. Oh, Miranda's sending us kissy hearts. I
know. I love the hearts. My favorite is when they dance across the screen.
I know. We've had a few of those, and I was kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites.
Yeah.
So send us hearts, send us thumbs up. What else did you want to talk about?
Well, I love all these stories that everyone is sharing, and I want to let everyone know that, my box of books. So we've been talking a lot about books, which is super cool because I have a book giveaway going on right now. It's kind of in the theme of Mother's Day. I have 6 books that changed my life huge. Most of you know what they are. This one by Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Work Week. This book by Dave Chilton, The Wealthy Barber Returns. This book, which Yvonne lent to me, and this isn't yours. I should give yours back because I actually bought my own now. This book by Pat Flynn, Will It Fly? This is the book that actually helped me decide whether or not to get going with the Ask Lyndsie thing for teens, and it confirmed my suspicions that teenagers do need help. This book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman.
Love it.
Obviously, my book is in the 6 favorites. And then this book is actually a 2-in-1. This is the Dale Carnegie, his 2 books that are amazing, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And these 6 books are going to a mom whose name will be in the draw. So I've been building the names in the draw every day. I've been making a post on Instagram, mostly Instagram. There's a few on Facebook. And to get your name in the draw, all you need to do is like the post and then comment with the name by tagging someone, another mom that you think would, basically like just a mom that's your favorite, that you love, that helps you out, that's got your back, that just another mom. And then you can get your name in the draw to win these 6 books, and they will show up on your doorstep from Amazon just in time for Mother's Day. So make sure to go to the 39 Forever Mom on Instagram and just look through the posts. There's quite a few there that you could actually get your name in the draw on. So
I love it.
Yeah. I love being able to share these books with
And
you
those
guys,
are all amazing books.
That's the way like stacked books look. But I like my pages folded, and I like notes in the margins. Yvonne's more of a like make sure the book looks like it's never been read afterwards.
Hey,
person.
you know what? I actually broke that.
Did you?
I did.
You wrote in a book?
Yes. And I underlined and I wrote in the margins and
How did that feel in here? Did that feel good?
awful.
What?
Oh, awful. I can't do it. Like it's really tough for me to bugger up books. But I had to start doing it.
My dog is chewing his bed apart right now. So
Yeah,
you have a
Lisa
dog
said,
with you,
yeah.
Lisa. Like I didn't see that till just now. And then, oh, thanks, Amanda.
Yeah,
I'm happy to hear
fantastic
that.
idea,
But I
she
want
said.
to know when it comes to reading books, and I am curious to know, because I feel like when I go back through a book that I've read, I want to see the stuff that jumped out at me 2-3 years ago so are you guys like that too? If you're a reader and you read a lot and you're into self-help books, like us two nerds are, do you write in the columns? Do you fold over pages? Do you highlight stuff, or do you leave your book in pristine condition? Type in the comment box
That's a cool
what
question.
kind of a reader you are, how you kind of engage with that book, or if you kind of like just have like a rental agreement with that book and then you return it as not scratched as possible.
Well, do you want to hear my alternative of what I came up
good.
with?
Yes, please.
Sticky notes. So
Okay.
I have the sticky notes now
Okay.
in the book, and then I can write on the sticky note and I put it in the page where like, because oftentimes the margins aren't wide enough on the side either to write in.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at this. There's not a lot of room here to write. Like you can
No.
underline, but yeah. So sticky notes
Where's
is
my copy of the 4-hour work week?
It's mine.
Oh, that's relevant. I was going to show you what my copy of the 4-hour work week looks like. I actually haven't even read this book cover to cover. I just jump around in it like the kind of like the Bible, like.
But that's
really
how
weird,
Tim Ferriss intended that to be.
Yeah, I love
anyways.
it, right?
Like,
It's
when
like-
you look at this 4-hour body book, it's
I
like
haven't
this
read that one,
thick,
yeah.
and it's this big.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what you're supposed to.
Amanda, come on, Yvonne, commit. No sticky notes. Sticky notes are kind of like dipping your toe
Dipping
in.
your toe.
Like you got to jump in
Listen.
there.
Small steps, man. Small steps in increment ways, and we'll get there. I did my last book that I literally is my Bible right now. I have underlined, I wrote in it, like you would have been proud of me. But sticky notes was my way to get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yvonne's also looking around the room that we're in right now, and she's like, this is the book version of my life, right? Like there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
We found the one little corner of my home that looks somewhat neat and tidy. We're not taking any of
Each
you
to
on
their
a tour.
own. Each to
Take
their
my
own.
word for it. This room looks like my books do, with notes and pages folded over and
No,
stuff
I'm
everywhere.
mesmerized by your vision board because I
Oh, I
keep
would
looking
love
at
to
the
show
cottage there, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for us to sit on that.
Yeah, we are going to be sitting on
Patio.
that patio in that cottage, definitely.
Cool.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. This has been super fun. We've been going for about 43 minutes now.
Mhm.
And you guys all shared some really great stuff. So we're going to do this again on another topic on another Sunday morning. I won't give you tons of notice because it's literally going to be on a day like today when it's rainy and glum and yucky outside, because I would never want to keep you inside. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks,
Yes,
Yvonne, for
thank
being
you.
here
Thanks
and
for
bringing
having
your
me.
awesome tech gear. Look at this thing. One day, this is on my list, by the way. One day I'm going to invest in one of those when I have Yvonne. Right? Okay, you guys, have a good day.
Ciao.
Love you all. Bye.